Hey there, my friends. I think I just need a minute to tune in here. I'm having an interesting day today. We'll start with that. Just so many thoughts, mostly emotions, so many emotions running through my body. Yeah, I guess I'll just dive right in and kind of share what I'm going through. Basically today was like sending my son away for the very first time for his first day of school because it feels like such a big transition for him and for me. And if you don't know, like the last couple of years I have had my son out of school. We started homeschooling, and that wasn't super fun and for either of us. Big long story, transitioned into unschooling, which is definitely more an open, child directed, do what you like with your day, which was amazing for the time we did it. It taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me a lot about my son, and the relationship that my son and I have became like just so close, so tight. But it came to my attention, it was a couple of weeks ago at a yoga retreat that I went on, where I had like 4 days to start looking inward and feeling all the feels and addressing things. And I realized that unschooling my son was just not serving him anymore, and it wasn't serving me anymore. And I felt like I had kind of come to a bit of a wall. But I was like kind of hiding that from myself as well. I think there was a lot of emotion that came with unschooling, and so much like unraveling, and I had to push to keep doing it. So a lot of the feelings of like, this isn't working and I don't want to do this, I want to say like pushed away, like pushed to the side, because I was very set on what we were doing. And I think that was all very necessary. I want to say that too. Like, I don't regret homeschooling or unschooling my son in any way whatsoever. But it just was not what we needed anymore. And it became very clear to me. And so yeah, just last week I had the discussion with my son, last week Tuesday, that I would like him to go to school. And he was a little annoyed at first, but very quickly that turned around into excitement and curiosity. And that's kind of been the ride for the last week, is like a little bit nervous because there's a lot of unknowns. And for me, also for Keenan, he spent a brief time at another school that was not really a good fit for him, and was a major transition, and it was difficult for him. But then I also have my own, I don't want to call it trauma anymore, because that's a word I was using for the longest time, and I think maybe it's a bit too harsh a word. Because I don't think my junior high and high school years were traumatic, but they were hard. And I think that's one of the realizations that I had over the weekend, that I was projecting a lot of my fears and a lot of my uncomfortability and a lot of the things I held on to from my school years. I was projecting that at my son, and I'm starting to see more and more all the time, like those years, I don't know if they were hard because of school. And don't get me wrong, there's some things about the school system I totally don't agree with. And there were some elements of that added to the struggle, and I think adds to the struggle that kids have in school, teens have in high school, students and all students. I think it could be done a lot better. But I mean, humbly, I don't exactly know what to do with the kids all the time either. Anyway, getting off on a tangent now. What the hell did I just finish up at? I also smoked a joint before I came out here, so I'm a little the emotions were high. So I was like, I'm gonna check in, calm down. It's definitely a tool. Maybe a crutch. We'll call it a tool. So yes, projecting my traumas on my son. So it's just been a lot of working through all of these emotions in me, and then being there to hold space for my son, who's working through the emotions of fear and excitement and nervousness, and he's very curious, and he's rearing, he's ready to go, but there's definitely hesitation. He doesn't know what to expect, and but ultimately, man, I'm super proud of him, because he expresses that he's nervous, but he works through it, like, just tell him, like, it's okay to feel nervous, like I would be too, like, it's a lot of new, it's a lot of unknown, and he's so brave, he has so much courage, so I'm really proud of him for that, because he's entering this journey with an open heart and an open mind, from what I can see anyway, and with excitement. So I'm proud of him. How many times can I say I'm proud of my son in this video? Anyway, I don't quite know what to do with myself today, because I am feeling all these emotions, and I just want to talk to him and say, how did your day go? And I gotta wait until he gets home. So I decided to come out in my yard for a little bit, and I wanted to show you something that maybe isn't all that exciting for some of you, but for me, this is really cool to me, because it's basically like garbage money. I'm going to show you my massive compost pile here behind me, and I don't know if you can really see, like, from the video how big it is, but this will probably cover the rows in at least one of my gardens, which is saying a lot. Like, if I were to go purchase that compost from the store, like, I'm sure it would be $4 or $5 a bag, and that's probably like 10 or 12 bags at least, which isn't a huge amount of money saved. But when you consider that this is all from scrap food that I've eaten, and leaves collected from my yard, and like the things I haul out of my garden from the prior year, and grass clippings, like, this is all garbage. This is all stuff that would have ended up in the compost pile at the landfill. But I never have I don't know what region you're living in, but here in Sussex, we have like a sorting system, where actual garbage goes in a clear bag, and then our recyclables, things like cardboard and plastic and that sort of thing, can go in a blue bag, and then your compost, which is all of your food items and that sort of thing, goes in a green bag. I never have a green bag to put out, because I always just throw it back here, so saving some bags. And yeah, I don't know, it feels a little less crappy when you're like chucking out maybe a piece of fruit or a vegetable that's gone bad in your fridge. Does that happen to anyone else? I'm sure it does. But yeah, just a little time in the garden and a little time making this video. Maybe you can relate to what I'm going through today. How do you all feel about your kids going to school? And like, even if your kids were in the mainstream school system all their lives, like transitioning into middle school or junior high, like it's a brand new ball game, and like everybody in there is just about to hit or already going through puberty, and like, I don't know, y'all, do you remember those years? Like, who? I've already noticed like a difference in my son, and the way he acts and the way he talks and the way he carries himself even. And we went through his room maybe a month ago now, and he cleared out like 75% of the stuff that was in his room. Like, he wanted all the kid stuff gone and all my hippie shit gone, and he's just like, he's coming into his own, and it's really exciting, but it's also challenging. Anyway, share with me your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. This is just ramblings for me. I'm feeling drawn to start sharing more of my life, and posting some videos here on YouTube. So, I kind of feel like if I'm putting it on my Facebook page, even though it's my Facebook page, and if you want to look at it, you can, but I feel like I'm almost bombarding people with my shit. Maybe that's just in my head. Oh God, I have to sit down because my knees are getting sore. But yeah, I find this very therapeutic. It's almost like journaling, or like talking to a therapist, but I'm just talking to my phone, and You know, part of me feels like you don't even have to share that, you know, just keep it in your phone. It's already on there. You've already gotten out, therapeutic done. But I just feel called to share it, and maybe someone who listens to this, sees this, and resonates with something that I'm experiencing, you know, like you can comment on it, we can chat about it, we can support each other in it, because, yeah, life's it's a roller coaster ride. And I think it's better, we might even need, you know, absolutely need each other, but it's definitely better with each other. It's better with support and community and people you can relate to. And yeah, this feels accessible to me, and it feels good. So I hope you enjoy. I do ramble on sometimes, but you know, that's the beauty of fast forward and rewind and, you know, exiting out. So I will one day learn to stop apologizing for the way that I speak, but for now I feel like I'm taking up your time. But you're here. And if you've made it to the end, I appreciate you. And yeah, is that all I got? Yeah, I think that's all I got. All right. Peace and love. So much love to all you. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. And enjoy this beautiful day. Whatever day it is and whatever time it is and wherever you're living. Whatever the weather's like. I hope you have a wonderful day. Afternoon. Evening. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.